Hey yo fellow Neopians. So I don't usually do Neopets Dailies videos, but Tales of Dacardia released today and I've been playing it a lot. I wanted to make a quick video talking about what to look out for in the game. The biggest thing I wanted to mention right off the bat is that there's a couple of bugs. One of the biggest ones is that you can get spammed with like hundreds of in-game notifications if you let your pet get too hungry. So make sure your pet doesn't get too hungry. And the other is that some of the late game content is coded in a weird way that you have access to gathering certain materials and then you lose access to gathering those materials once you're finished with the quest. So I actually got to beta test this game, and I've got to give credit to Fluffy Dog Studio, the Neopets team, the community ambassadors. They've actually done a really good job at taking user feedback and making this a much better gameplay experience. Some of the biggest changes that they fixed was the game loads a lot faster. Tapping on debris actually picks it up the first time. The object collision has been fixed, so you can't stack buildings on top of each other. And honestly, the integration with Neopets was really easy. I'm not sponsored by Neopets or Neopets. I have 12 subscribers. They don't know who I am. Now, I understand that there is a bit of a holdup between a lot of people not wanting to use Neopets, and I totally understand it. I've heard stories of people like losing access to their accounts. It doesn't seem like the majority of people are having issues with it, but it's totally understandable to be concerned about losing access to your account, especially if you're like me and have had an account for like 19 years. I haven't really had any issues with Neopets aside from when I try to log in. You select which user you want to play as, because I have two accounts connected to my Neopets, and then it just sits there and loads and it looks like it's not doing anything. And if you try to start loading the same account twice, it just restarts the process and you have to wait even longer. Other than that, Neopets has worked fine for me. Totally understandable if you don't want to use it. So first off, we've got a couple of characters in Dacardia. You have Linnea Crag, which is basically like the sandy cheeks of Dacardia. She's an outsider who's like really into the STEM fields. She engineered the Crabulator, her little Krabby Bot assistants, to help rebuild the island. And she also just puts herself right into the middle of the community and starts making friends with the locals. And then you've got Dr. Ariel Salandine. She's like the Sigmund Freud of Dacardia. If you know, you know. She just like roams around the island, like itching herself and falling asleep randomly. Almost all of her dialogue revolves around getting her next fix of coffee. And I kind of feel like Ariel right now because this game released at midnight and I've already finished the entire game and wrote a 4-page script about this game. I'll talk real quickly about like the different types of buildings there are in the game. So the first one you'll get introduced to is the Crabulator. It's what you interact with when you're leveling up your town. You have to earn Dacardite stones that power up the machine, and once it's powered up, you get to clear a new area. After you've unlocked Furtive Farm, the next area that you unlock, you have a choice between unlocking either in the Mysterious Mine or I believe it's called Enigma Wharf. I chose the mine, so I'm not sure what the wharf is called in this newest version. Now, if you choose to unlock the Mysterious Mine like I did, you receive a new resident, which is a loop, and it gives you a little house for the loop. And because these two different areas have exclusive items, unlocking the Mysterious Mine gives you the ability to build pebble path tiles. So if you want to decorate your island with pebble paths, you should choose the Mysterious Mine. On the other hand, if you want to choose to unlock the wharf, you'll get a Kugra pet and then a little house for them. And it gives you access to logs, which will allow you to create fences. As of right now, you kind of have to choose one or the other. You won't have access to both path tiles and fences. Hopefully, in the future, you have more quests that allow you to unlock more areas. So just keep that in mind whenever you're deciding where you want to go. The next building in the game is the Furtive Farm. That's where your Neopet gathers food to make appleberry omelets. That's the main thing you're going to be using it for. I pretty much constantly have a pet gathering apples and berries just to make omelets. It's an easy way to farm pearly eggs, which is the in-game currency. And it's nice to have extra food available. So next I'm going to talk about the crafting houses, or the craft houses. There's currently 4 of them in the game, 3 of which include a mini-game which allow you to earn pearly eggs, the in-game currency I was talking about earlier. In-game currency, pearly eggs. First, you've got the Molten Mixer. You want to make sure that when you're crafting materials that you're always making them in increments of 5. So you'll always get an extra building material for free once you're done crafting. You just tap the screen whenever the sliding bit is in the middle of the gauge. It's the most difficult of the mini games to get perfect, and only a perfect score will award you with Pearling Eggs. And you'll always get one material regardless of your score, so I wouldn't stress over getting a perfect score on Molten Mixer. Next we have Antiquity Fixity. This is where you're going to come to either craft your pebble paths or your fences depending on which area you chose to unlock. It's an easy little mini game where you just repeatedly tap on the rotors that are illuminated. If you succeed quickly, you'll be awarded 5 Pearling Eggs per session. Now, the game does not award you more Pearling Eggs for doing larger batches, so I always just craft one item at a time. If you're using Antiquity Fixity or the Omelet Slab to grind Pearling Eggs, just go ahead and always make one item at a time because there's no increase in payouts for doing multiple at a time. Next, you've got the Omelet Slab. This is where you're going to do the majority of your grinding for Pearling Eggs. Once you've selected the type of omelet you want to make, there's going to be a little animation showing the Krabby Bots doing all the preparations. There's a little pop-up message saying to flip the omelet. You don't actually want to do anything here for a few seconds. Wait until you see the Krabby Bots put their spatulas underneath the omelet, and then you swipe up on the screen. It might be a little particular depending on your phone. On mine, it doesn't always register that I'm swiping up. I have to do it a few times. It's not too big a deal if you don't get a perfect score. It just means you're not going to get awarded Pearling Eggs for that set. Again, the rewards are per minigame, not per item that you craft, so only make one at a time. I recommend always leaving one of your pets at the furtive farm, gathering apples and berries. Or if you choose the wharf, I believe that you can have your pet gather seaweed to make a seaweed omelet. And then lastly, we've got the Rainbow Treehouse. This is where you're going to send one of your pets to craft items. There's no mini games, and you'll use this a lot for completing your daily quests. Now, daily quests come from the bulletin board. This is the main draw of the game for new players. You complete new daily tasks and earn Pearling Eggs. This is one of the biggest things that they've updated with the new release, the worldwide release of Dacardia. If you played the early access, the reward for completing a daily task was like 2,500 Neo points added to your Neopets account. Now it's boosted to 5,000 points per task. Also, it's no longer a per day checklist, but a point system that you have to work towards to get a larger prize. So you can make a lot of Neo points just getting on every day and doing a daily quest or doing what daily quests you have available. There's additional characters, additional Neopets that you can unlock further on in the game. There's also premium ones that you can buy. Like right now, you can buy a Kachik to come to your island. It has been confirmed that drakes are already in the game's code. I've seen a little footage of it. So that's something I'm pretty excited about. Drakes are really cool. And then with the worldwide release, Neopets has added new content to the game. There's a series of missions for your second pet where if you've unlocked the mysterious mine, I know what you do there. You have to go like deeper into the mine and unlock more ores. I'm not sure what the new quest line is for the wharf, but one thing I recommend doing is whenever you get a task to create X number of an item, you don't have to create a whole bunch of items. You can just create one item and then place it down, go to your building editor, pick it back up, and then place it down again. So instead of crafting 5 of the same item, you can just craft one of them, save your resources, and just put it down and pick it up again. It still counts as doing it multiple times. Also, during this quest line, you're going to have access to increasingly rare items. I know in the mine you get access to gold bars, but once you finish the quest line, all those items become locked again. I'm assuming that that's a bug. But if you're concerned about having access to the newest items in the game, I recommend you farming them a little bit before you actually finish the quest line. And the last thing I would want to make you aware of is that whenever you claim your rewards on the app, you'll get a Neo mail from TNT on site. So expect to be getting a lot more messages from TNT. Don't freak out every time you see a message from them. It's fine. They're just telling you, hey, by the way, you've gotten some free Neo points. And that is all I've got to say about Tales of Dacardia. I'm going to start making videos again. I know it's been a few months now since I've uploaded anything. My living situation has changed, my working situation has changed, and it's just been very difficult to create content. But I've not forgotten this channel. I have somewhere around, I think, 80 pages of scripts written for a few different plots. So just be on the lookout for that. Once I have time being able to get to a computer and record, I will start posting content again. So that is it for today. Thank you very much and enjoy Tales of Dacardia. I know I am.